All right. Hi, my name is Michael. I run Coleman & Company. We're an embroidery supply company based in Tampa, Florida. And today we're going to talk about how to make a patch. We're not talking about fancy absorbent towels or food processors or neat ways to clean spots from your clothes. It's a lot simpler than that. It's how to make a patch, and more importantly, how to make a small number of patches. Now, most people, when they think about patches, they think that I'm going to make 100 or 200 patches. That's not always the case. There are companies out there that do that for a living, and you can easily farm that job out to them. But when someone comes to you and says, I need 3 patches, I need 11 patches, you don't have to turn that job away. You can do it. If you can digitize, if you are an embroiderer, embroidery machine, if you own a heat press. Now, the heat press is optional. A hand iron does the job as well, just not as well, not as efficiently. A heat press is a great tool to have in your shop. Now, what we'd like to do is we're going to show you how, with just a simple digitized file into a material that we sell. It's a polyester-based material. So you've got mostly a polyester-based material, polyester embroidery thread, and a heat seal material that is also polyester based. These 3 items combine to make a patch, and more importantly, the edge around the patch stays sealed. We actually show you how to use a hot knife, and it seals the edge so those threads stay together and they do not come apart. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to do this right now. Okay folks, what you're looking at here is how to make a patch. These are finished patches. These are various shapes and sizes. You can go real simple from circles and various shapes that are easy to cut out, or you can get real intricate. It all depends on your own style of cutting and how you want to charge for this type of work. But what you're looking at overall is we show folks how, with a material, like I said earlier, that is polyester based, the beauty of this material, we refer to it as patch material, we keep things very simple, is the interior of the patch looks as if it was embroidered. Okay, so you've got like this big fill pattern in here that looks as if it's been embroidered. You're not wasting your time or money on sewing all this field out. Now what you're going to simply do is once you talk to a client, they determine what color the interior of the patch wants to be. And what you're going to look at here, folks, is we have 12 different colors of material. Very basic materials, not every one in the rainbow, but for the most part, standard colors. Now, the material comes in a 1-yard piece. It's 26 inches by 36 inches wide. Everything that you see here is available at our website at colemanandcompany.com. Now, at this point, we're going to just sort of jump ahead. If you can digitize a file, someone comes into your shop and says, I want an oval patch, I want it to be red letters, a red border, I want a gold interior. You choose the gold color material, you do the digitizing, and when you're ready to, you hoop the material just like so. You're going to copy and paste your image to make full use of the space. Once that's done, you sew the complete object out. You sew the patches out. When you're finished, you take it out of the hoop, and what we're going to do next is we're just going to simply show you that you flip this over bobbin side, and you're going to add the final piece, which is a heat seal material. This is a 7 mil thick piece of polyester material that is a double-sided solid glue, basically. Okay? When you're ready to heat press it, we're going to actually take this over to the heat press and we're going to show you how to do it. So follow me. Where we're at here, folks, is we're next to the heat press. We're going to place the material on the heat press, and you're going to protect your heat press because the material has a little bit of glue on the back, and we're also going to be using a double-sided glue as well, and you want to protect both sides of your heat press. So sandwich the patches in between something protective. You put it here. We're sitting around 330, 340 degrees. And you're just going to put your heat seal on the back, and once again, sandwich it with something protective, and you bring your heat press down, and we're going to let that set up for about 20-25 seconds. All that's simply doing is it's going to seal the patch from behind, it's going to protect the bobbin thread, it's going to make this patch stiffer, flatter, and just more like a patch that people, understand. Okay, we're going to pop it up now, and then what we're simply going to do is we're going to flip it over. We're going to keep the same exact thing going on. We're just going to simply flip it over. We like to heat from both sides of the patch. Now, there's actually a magical reason why. The heat seal material is actually drawn to the heat source. So whenever you seal the patch, or whether you seal the patch to the final garment, you want to you want to heat it from the front side and then flip it over and heat it again from the back. All right, folks, I think we're pretty good to go here. Let's take it out. Now, because it's got glue on it, we're gonna peel this off. And what you're looking at is once that's set up, this is going to be sealed from behind. Okay? Now we're going to take it back over. We're going to do the final step, which is cutting the patch out. Okay. The next step here is, if you notice, you got a nice shine on the back of these patches. This is the heat seal that's been infused into the back. It still looks perfectly the same the way it was on the front, but at this point in time, we're going to simply cut a patch out sort of rough with a pair of scissors. You're not going to get too close to the thread, because if you do, you all know what's happened before. Once the scissors touch the thread, it becomes unraveled. It's kind of an ugly mess. Now this is the final step. What you see here is just simply a pane of glass. I like the round pane of glass that you can get from a local arts and crafts store, and the glass is smooth and it handles the heat. Now the other tool that you're dealing with here is, we didn't reinvent the wheel, folks. We didn't invent a new science of embroidery. This is a wood burning tool, okay? Happens to have a very sharp tip on it, and what I like to do is I keep like a little scrap cloth next to me here, because I'm going to be wiping off some residue occasionally. All you're doing, and this is the part where you're going to have to pay attention, all we're doing is you're going to run this knife down around that outer satin stitch. This is it, folks. I mean, imagine this patch used to look like this. You're just running along that outer edge. Every now and again, you're going to wipe off the tip, any residue that may come across, but you're sealing. You're going to cauterize every thread that's on the outside of this, okay? Now, I mean, look how detailed you can get. I mean, if you have the time, this took me about 10 minutes to cut out, but folks, these patches are custom made. If you sell embroidery for a living, the word custom is fantastic, because that makes your cash register ring a little bit louder. Okay, so it's all good stuff. You don't have to turn away a patch job because you don't know how to make it. You will. This is not difficult to do. All I'm asking you to do is to have patience with how you cut the patch out. Let the hand and your head and your hand all learn. Now, I'm going to take this in steps here, folks. See how that edge is coming out nice and clean? If you have any kind of roughness, you just take the barrel of the hot knife and run it around that edge. And all you're doing, you're going to wipe a little of that residue off, and you're just going to continue. Okay, the hot knife does the job.
May I have your attention, please? The time is now 9:45. 15 minutes until show opens. Again, the time is now 9:45. 15 minutes until show opens.
Anything that's intricate, just take your time. Just go around the edge. Sometimes you pull the knife toward you. You can, like something like this, you're going to take it out in pieces. You're just going to take each section at a time, and the knife will show you how fast you're able to move it. Try not to sneeze at this point, because you can ruin a patch pretty easily. But this is not rocket science, folks. I'm a pretty simple-minded guy from New Jersey, and everything's got to be taught to me pretty easily. But any of these edges can just be smoothed over, and by the time you're done, everything is sealed. And the beauty of it is, it's a thin enough patch. The patch comes out very thin. I mean, look how thin this is. It can be sewn on. The bigger a patch becomes, the more we recommend sewing. But you can still use that fantastic heat seal material that's on the back side of it. It's got great sticking quality to it, especially when you are finished and you place that patch on the final garment. You want to heat it from the front for placement, but then we recommend heating from the back side as well. That way this heat material gets into the fabric. This is it, folks. This isn't difficult to do. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Down in the South, we like to say the word viola, but if you'd like to say it the other way, it's voila, we're done.